get down to business. So we're talking about the LA Lakers game last night when they ended up losing 105-90. There was a point in the game where the Lakers was down by as much as 34. Oh my God, it was so bad. It was so ugly. AD only played like 6 to 7 minutes of that. Um, it was just not good. It just wasn't good. It was an awful performance by the Lakers last night. I don't know where to begin. But I think I know where to begin. Russell Westbrook, or should I say Russell Westbrick, 1 for 13 last night. My biggest fear came to pass last night when Damian Lillard got the cooking. And what did I say in the preview last night? That if Damian Lillard got cooking, this dude would probably get in a pissing contest. This was one of the biggest questions I had, and that was one of the things that came to pass. Nobody could get in a rhythm with this guy. Nobody could. It was just awful. Awful. He went 1 for 13 and only had like 8 points last night. Just unacceptable. Just unacceptable. But yeah, he plays hard. Carmelo Anthony had 12 points last night. Let me see. Malik Monk had 13. But really, though, this was awful. This was awful last night. Damian Lillard had 25. Nurkic had 15 points, but he had like 17 rebounds. Well, of course, you know, Nurkic was going to dominate the paint after AD leaves the game. Robert Covington was in double figures. CJ McCollum surprisingly had a bad game last night, but they didn't really need him. CJ McCollum had like 7 points. I mean, that was shocking. But there was just an awful performance last night. Now the final score was closer to what the game really indicated. Yeah, they got it to win 15, but they were down by 34 at one point. They were down by 34 points at one point, man. Let that sink in for a second. He's not a point guard. There's a reason why whenever LeBron is in the game or when LeBron is there, he gets taken off the ball. But then again, he's not a good shooter off ball. If you put this guy as a catch and shoot three, that's a big mistake, right? This dude can't shoot. So playing him off ball to catch and shoot three, that's a big mistake right there. So he can't lead an offense because it's all about him. And then you can't play him off ball. So it's like, what do you do? What's up, Prince Moore? Carmelo Anthony can't get no rhythm playing with this guy. He's proven that during his time in OKC. So it just, you can't win with this dude, man. You can't. You know, and I got people coming here capping, talk about, oh man, you gotta let it slow cook, and you gotta give it some time. And I'm like, look, I've seen enough of Russell Westbrook throughout his NBA career to know that you cannot win with this dude. You can't. There's no way in hell that you can sit up here and, unless he goes through some kind of evolution where he just does this complete 180. I've seen enough of Russell Westbrook and the way his mental shakes up, the where he's not changing for nobody, he ain't trying to change for nobody, he just trying to do him. And when you run around with that kind of attitude and that kind of behavior, then what is there to see that's going to change that? There's nothing that anyone out there that can say that would change Russell Westbrook. Now, provided Russell Westbrook comes out himself and say, "Hey, look, I've been making a lot of mistakes over the years of my career, especially over here with the Lakers. I need to make some changes, and we need to see where that go." But no, he don't do that. What do you see during these post-game interviews? Does he come out and say? Does Russell Westbrook himself come out and say he's gonna make changes to his game to allow a team to win? No. And then if you ask him about that, chances are he's probably going to go off on you, because we've seen him go off on reporters throughout the years. So if we've seen him go off on reporters throughout the years, if we didn't hear him coming out himself proclaiming he's going to make changes to his game, then what makes you think you can come out and say that? What's up, Steel Proven? Salute to you, bro. I'm just asking the question, man, because this sideshow has gone far enough. What's up, Nate Shepard? Salute, bro. I mean, we can't even get. I mean, can Rondo get some burn? I know he played some last night. But in my opinion, Rondo need to be the permanent starting point guard. If you're gonna, Russell Westbrook needs to come off the bench, man. He gonna have to come off the bench. This was awful, man. This was an awful performance by the Lakers last night. And my biggest fear came to pass. My biggest fear was, now, in case you didn't watch the preview last night, my fear was this. Damian Lillard started hitting threes and all that, with Russell Westbrook getting into a pissing contest with him. And unfortunately, the answer was yes, because there was a sequence where Damian Lillard hits a three, Russell Westbrook comes down, he jacks up a three and shoots an air ball, right? Then in the next possession, Russell Westbrook goes down, misses the layup, gets the rebound, missed the putback layup, and then gets a strip, and yet it resulted in another turnover. I'm like, here we fucking go again. There's no way that the rate the LA Lakers is going, right? We cannot afford LeBron to be out a long period of time. Now he's gonna be out until at least next Friday, right? With the abdominal strain. Now it could be more, or he could come back. He could come back sooner, but as of right now, he'll be back. He's scheduled to come back next Friday. But this is not good. If LeBron is out for a long period of time, this team will go nowhere with Russell Westbrook as the starting point guard. They won't. He'll continue to do him because, he won MVPs and he got all-star appearances with that, right? But did he make the all-star team last year? No, he did not. So obviously, something not right about that, right? You would think he'd have been a shoo-in for the all-star team last year, but he didn't make the all-star team last year. And they barely made the playoffs. His style of play has not resulted in winning. But I think the biggest problem with Russell Westbrook is that, and I'll admit there's a problem I have sometimes. It's pride. Your selfish pride will be the biggest killer of you if you don't watch it. This notion that you got to go out there and do it all by yourself. This notion that you can't reach your hand out sometime and ask for assistance sometimes. This notion that you can just ignore everybody else. Maybe because you have trust issues Maybe because, you know, whatever reason it is, it just not have worked. Whatever you did, it just hasn't worked. And you refuse to accept that. And that's why, part of the reason why, you run around here playing like a Tasmanian devil. All those triple doubles mean absolutely nothing. It don't. He wanted to be a one-man show, and he got that in OKC. James Harden got traded to the Rockets over $500,000. KD left as a free agent because he felt like he couldn't win with Russell Westbrook. And Russell Westbrook got what he wanted, for the most part. There was a year where Carmelo Anthony was there and Paul George was there. All right, you got frozen out. All right, but for the most part, outside of that, he had his own team. And he's been putting up triple doubles, right? Victor Oladipo was there, but Victor Oladipo, he was pretty much for the most part, ineffective with Russell Westbrook. It is a common theme when you're playing with this guy. If you all right, the only guy that was really able to withstand that was Paul George and KD for the most part. They're the only two guys that had their numbers not get impacted by Russell Westbrook. And then when he went to the Wizards, Bradley Beal's numbers didn't get impacted either. Everybody else did. So this guy, he's a head case, an extreme head case. Now, I don't respect this guy, man. I don't. Just because you play hard, that don't mean you play smart. And that's an illusion that if you're not careful, you can fall in that trap. Oh, well, he plays hard. Okay, that's great. He doesn't play smart. He doesn't know that, hey, when I don't got it going offensively, I need to get other players involved. Or when other players got to go in offensively, you're supposed to be going right back to them until they get cold. Not this, well, he hits a couple shots, right? So I got to get my number. I got to get my shots up. You know what I'm saying? I'll go back to him in about 3-4 possessions, but for right now, I got to get my shots up. Because I'm trying to cook offensively. What? No. If you see a guy hit 2-3 shots in a row, you keep going back to them. Look, that's common sense. I understand common sense ain't common or whatever, but if I see a guy that's hitting shots, right? It doesn't take you playing in the NBA to realize this, right? You can play pickup ball and realize this, okay? If you're playing pickup ball, 5-on-5, going up and down the court, right? You got the ball in your hand. You pass it off to one of your teammates. You see your teammate has been cooking, right? He's already hit like 3-4 shots in a row. Go back to them. It shouldn't take a guy playing in the NBA to realize that. You can realize that playing pickup ball. So if I can realize that playing pickup ball, why the fuck can this guy not realize he's playing in the NBA? It shouldn't have to take playing in the NBA to realize this. Look, if you got a big man, if I play pickup ball and I got a big man down low and I know he got a advantageous matchup, give him the ball. If you see he's posting his man up down low and he got his man perfectly shielded off, give him the ball. Let him operate. If he goes down and gets the ball, let him operate. He gets a couple dunks and shit. Look, when you play pickup ball, that big man's going to clean up whatever messes that he has that got made. It shouldn't have to take playing in the NBA to realize that. It's common fucking sense. You got a big man, use him. Big man should not be just used just for setting screens and cleaning up your mess. Give him the ball sometimes. If you just give him the ball and let him operate, instead of just, I'm gonna go out there and try to dribble between three motherfuckers and try to shoot this layup and hopefully he'll get the rebound. No, that will make him not get the rebound. That will make him say, man, fuck this guy, because this guy ain't trying to give me the ball. This guy ain't trying to play. This guy here bullshit. Why would I go out here and hustle for a rebound when I know this guy ain't gonna give me the ball? Shouldn't have to take playing in the NBA and realize that. You can realize that playing pickup ball. Makes no damn sense. You either feed the big man or you feed the hard hand. You cannot win with Russell Westbrook as your starting point guard. He has proven that. He will not get you to no NBA Finals. He has proven that. I think after about year 6 or 7 in the NBA, you, for all intents and purposes, barring some evolution to your game and all that, you pretty much are who you are at this point. So all this stuff about we gotta wait these games and we gotta see how they mesh together and all this other stuff, man. Look, Russell Westbrook ain't trying to mesh with nobody, all right? He ain't trying to mesh with nobody. So this whole thing about him needing more time to mesh with people and all that, man, that's all a whole bunch of jibber jabber. That's all it is. It's jibber jabber. It's bullshit. So that's where I'm at on that, man. Lakers have a game Monday night. They play the Charlotte Hornets. They're back at Staples, and they're at 500 right now, sitting at 5-5. Now, I'm interested to see how they're going to bounce back from this. Charlotte, I think I don't know if they have a game today. I got to look and see if they have a game today, but I know their last game didn't go so well. They played the Sacramento Kings, and the Kings ended up crowning them. So it'll be somewhat of a revenge game for Malik Monk. You know, Malik Monk played his start his NBA career with the Charlotte Hornets. Malik Monk played his college ball in Kentucky. And Malik Monk, you know, he had his troubles with substance abuse. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't stay off the weed during his time with the Hornets. So there'll be somewhat of a revenge game for him. But they got some guys on that team that can hurt you. They got obviously LaMelo Ball. He's been, he had a bad game against the Kings, but for the most part, he's been sensational. So I like LaMelo. I like another guy that's been playing very well is Miles Bridges. Now, I did not see Miles Bridges coming out here, beasting like he has been, but he's been really good. But there's two guys on that team that struggled. The first guy that struggled for the most part is Terry Rozier. I don't know what happened with Terry Rozier. I don't know why he's struggling. I don't know if he's still playing over 30 minutes. They don't have Devontae Graham no more. Devontae Graham's over in New Orleans. So I don't know why Terry Rozier is struggling. And then the other guy that struggled before he got hurt was P.J. Washington. Now, I don't know if his ex-wife is in his head, I don't know if that had anything to do with why he's struggling right now. But PJ Washington, prior to getting hurt, I mean, he's just not been good. You know, and I say he had all that stuff going on in the offseason between him and his ex-wife, so to speak. But I don't know if that's the thing that's affecting his game or what. But he just not been good for the most part. So, but he's hurt right now. I think he's questionable. I think he's gonna be out like a couple games or whatever like that. But we'll see. But yeah, Russell Westbrook, man, that he gotta go, man. He gotta go. He gotta go, man. The net when it's time to trade, and don't tell me. Hold on. Don't tell me you can't trade the guy. All right, the guy's already been traded like 3 times. So this notion that you can't trade Russell Westbrook, that is complete utter nonsense. Anybody can be traded. It just had to do with the numbers and the desire. And if those two things mesh, then guess what? You're out of here, right? I would not be surprised if he's gone by trading deadline. Now, who's willing to take Russell Westbrook? That's a completely different argument. We're gonna have to have another day. But what leads to my final point, and before I get up out of here, right? Because really, the game, it was an ugly game by the Lakers. Really nothing to break down. They got destroyed, and that's the bottom line. But insanity is doing the same things over and over again, and yet expecting a different result. And Russell Westbrook kept doing the same thing over and over and over again, and he's been traded on 3 different occasions, and he has not changed his game. His game has not evolved in not one shape, form, or fashion. So you would think that, hey, if all these teams, including the Washington Wizards, right? If the Washington Wizards are trading you, that's a problem. That was a serious problem. Well, which meant that maybe I should take a step back and evaluate my game and see what the fuck is wrong. Instead, I'm gonna go ahead and triple down on stupid, and I might be on the verge of getting traded again, because the way they looked last night, the Lakers looked like they quit on Russell Westbrook. If you watched that game last night, AD only played like 7 minutes or 8 minutes. So it just gets on my nerves to see this. It really do. It really gets on my nerves to see this. And you would think this guy would do an evaluation and to evolve his game. But he has not. He has not evolved this game in not way, one shape, form, or fashion. And he continues to play this way, thinking that it's going to result in wins. But the results aren't there. Yeah, you won an MVP. Yeah, you had some all-star appearances. But for the most part, it has not resulted in winning. It is not winning basketball. And if he continues to not change, he's going to find himself out the league sooner rather than later, because nobody wants to deal with him. I mean, it's one thing you going out there playing like crap. It's another thing when you playing like crap, freeze your teammates, and then in post-game interviews, you going off on reporters and all that, like reporters did something to you. They're asking questions and you're attacking reporters like they did something to you. Just disgusting, man. But you guys let me know what y'all think, man. Smash the like, hit the subscribe, man. This your boy. Scream at me.